Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. And in this video we'll discuss about how we can perform cascade on delete, right? So basically in my previous video what I was discussing about the lifecycle hooks, right, or lifecycle events that we have in Spring Data MongoDB. So I explained it, and I was just talking about how we can, let's say if we have multiple uh, entities, right? Let's say you have, let's say, employee and address, right? One employee can have multiple addresses, right? Permanent address or temporary address. Similarly, let's say in one department, there can be multiple employees. So if you want to if you want to delete one department itself from one of the organization, let's say, right? Along with that, you need to delete the employees as well. Let's say in one department, there are n number of employees. So in Oracle or something, right, on delete cascade was there. There was something using which we are able to basically perform this particular operation. So how do you do that in Spring Data MongoDB, right? Because in MongoDB, it is not relational database, right? It is just key value pair. And the moment you try to, there are different approaches, dvref and all these things are there, right? But to achieve that, you need to use uh, this life cycle events, and manually you have to perform that operation, right? But rather than doing it in service um, class or somewhere, we should use this life cycle event. So I thought of coming up with this video so that I think you should be clear on this. So if you have not seen my previous video, please go ahead and watch all of this and then basically come to this part. Otherwise, it would be difficult for you to. But if you are already aware of Spring Data MongoDB and have been working, and just basically, if you are watching for only for how you can perform this on delete cascade operation or any cascading operations, right? You can directly get started. Okay. So yeah, so this might be the last video in Spring Data MongoDB because I covered almost all the topics here. There are different things, but I think this is what is enough to get started on MongoDB. Okay, so let me go to Spring. I think the MongoDB Compass, right, and show you that I have created two collections. Okay, one is department. Here you can see the other one is employee. So in department we have, let's say, ID, then what is the department name and location. Okay, and I have only three records here: department ID 1, 2, 3, and we have, let's say, marketing, sales, and engineering. Let's go to employee table. In employee table, if you see, again, I did not have multiple records, but I think you can have multiple employees as well, right? In one department. So let's try about, I think we can copy one of them. Okay, let me add one more employee to department 2. Okay, employee ID will be 10123 is already there. Let me add 4. Okay, I'll just mention James. Okay, and position, let's leave it to the same one. Okay, and let's put it 5 over here, and let's insert the document. All right, so in department 2 we have I think 2 employees, and 101 103 another 2 employees in department 1 and 3. Okay, and similarly in my entity model or the domain model, right, I have already created department where I have specified the collection name, excuse me, and I have this attributes, right, department ID, name, location here. Similarly, I have for employee, this domain model is also created. Then we need repository, right, where department repository and employee repository. Okay, so let's go to our controller, and I'll just show you that I have already created this just to see, right, whether we are able to fetch the details. So if you see here, to see all the departments, whatever we have in MongoDB, and employees as well, right? So just created this so that we can just see all of them, right? If you see, we are able to fetch the records from our database. Similarly for employee as well. Okay. So now what I want to do is I want to perform a delete operation on department, which will in turn delete my employees as well, employee collection as well, right? So to do that, let's say I'll just do delete mapping, right? And let's mention department v1. Then we need to pass this department ID, right? Otherwise, how we'll get to know? Okay, public, and let's say let's return this department list itself. Delete department by ID, path variable. Okay, and here it is department ID, which is nothing but in this case it's integer, I think. Okay, and we can call this method department repository dot delete by ID, but we need to return department repository dot find all. Okay, so let's see. Department, I think we need to give a slash over here. Department v1, then department ID we have to pass, and it should delete that. Let me just restart. Okay. Yeah, I think it started. Let's go ahead and use the delete. Okay. So let's try to delete our record department. So I'll try to delete the department one. Okay. Let's go to department table or collections. Okay. I'll just copy this so that we'll again put it back. Right. So what it did is just deleted department one. After deleting, right, what we are doing over here, if you see, after deleting, again I am returning what all departments we have in our database. So if you see, department 1 got deleted and it just returned 2 and 3. If you go ahead and check in MongoDB as well, I think it will have just 2 records, right? But if I go and see employee collection, still, even though my department 1 is no more there, which is, let's say, the engineering departments, right? But still, if you see, there are one record with department ID as 1, which should not be the case, right? Because you are deleting a parent record, but there are n number of child's record, right, which is still there, which will cause later, right, lots of issues. So what we want is when I delete department, that time it should delete the all the child records basically in employee table, right? In one department, I can have let's say 1,000 employees as well. So I should not go ahead and basically it it should basically the undelete cascade operation, right? Which usually in our relational database and all we used to do, we want to achieve here. So to do that, we can achieve that using the lifecycle events that we discussed in our previous video. So let me create one more event here, okay, or event listener. So let's say delete employee, or rather we should say delete department, uh, department delete listener. That should be good, okay. Okay, and here we need to extend, it was abstract Mongo event listener. And here we need to annotate with component because we are going to auto wire the employee repository, right? So let's auto wire that. Auto wire employee. All right. So next step, what we should do, we want to create one delete event listener. So which means when there is any delete operations happening, right, in department collection, then I want to pop on something, right? So let's go to source section and try to override the method. Okay. If you see here, we have something on before delete, because before deleting my department, I should delete all the employees belonging to this particular department, right? So first I should delete all the child records, then only I should delete this department, right? So on before delete, we need to use here, okay? This is fine, let's remove that. And what we have to do, we need to get the department ID. String department ID equals event.get source.get. Okay, what we did, we missed this part, right? Here we are saying department, right? So the moment if you, let's do it again. So section on before delete. Okay. Make sure you specify the source, right? Basically, in this case, department, right? So I think even the warning we are getting now, that warning is no more there. So you have to specify your domain model over here, okay? Then only you should get this event.get source document.get. In this case, it is underscore ID, right? Dot toString, we can do this. And this will return department ID. So why do you need this? Because which ID you need, right? Which department ID is getting deleted. So from this event, you need to get that particular ID. Then you can call this method employee repository.delete. I think we need to have one method to delete by department ID, right? So let's go ahead and add one. So we'll use the query methods, which should be, I think, just declaration, method declaration. So what we'll say, I think delete by department ID. That's all. And I think we don't need to return anything. So it will just delete all the employees belonging to that particular department. Okay. So let's call that particular method over here. Delete by department ID. Percent department ID. Okay. So it's very simple. What we are doing, we just created one event listener, and we are using the on before delete. So before deleting the department record, go ahead and delete all the child records in employee tables, or all the employees basically for this particular department. And this will be called automatically. You don't need to do anything because this is the listener. So it is listening to all this delete event, and this is going to listen to the delete event only. Okay. So let's run it and let's see how it works. Okay. So before that, let me, I think I had removed this record from department, right? Let me insert that again. Okay, now we have one, but anyways, we have two employees in department 2, right? This one 102 and 104. So we'll delete department 2 now. Okay, let me restart. So what uh, we did here is just created one event listener annotated with component so that the bean will be exposed. You no need to basically add one more configuration there, and we are just using the on before delete event to delete all the child records from the employee collection. Okay, it's already started. Let's see. I think okay, now we have all the department. Okay, we are going to delete department 2 now. Instead of this, all right, so department 2 got deleted successfully. So now we have only 1 and 3. Now let's see employees, right? If you see all the employees, even here department we have only 2. Let's see the employees here. See, only department ID is 3, department ID 1. So all the employees belonging to department 2 got deleted, right? So this is how you can perform on delete cascade operation in MongoDB, and don't manually, like in service class, let's say you delete, call the delete repository, and then let's say first call all the employees in that particular one, and then call such kind of things. Don't put it in your service layer. Use all these lifecycle hooks and all these things, right, which is there, so that your code will be clean, and it will have your basically responsibility will be uh, here, right? So whenever you have all these events, so all these rules, right? So you'll not have lots of boilerplate code in your service class, and even the transactions and all those things, if you are using, it will be taken care. Okay, so using lifecycle hooks, similarly, you can before saving also, let's say if you want to save employee and department all together, right? You might have one experience API given to the front end. The same thing you have to use. Before save, you first save all of them. Let's say department first you will save, then you are going to save in employee, right? So what you have to use while saving, you have to use on after save of department. First you save department number, let's say, and then 3, 4 employees or 4, whatever it is, and number of employees. You just save it to your employee collection. So this is how I think you can use the lifecycle hooks or lifecycle listener or events and achieve all of these things. Okay, so this is what I wanted to discuss in today's video, and I think for Spring Data MongoDB I covered almost all the functionalities. Not all, but whatever we use usually. Okay, and there are few customizations and all those things, right, which you might not require, because even if it is required, right, you can just go through it, and after having all this knowledge you'll be able to figure it out. Okay, so if you like the video, please do subscribe to my channel and press the like button, so that I'll get some motivation to come up with some other videos like this. Okay, and yeah, that's all for today. Thanks for watching the video.